Next up, my brother, we've got Nate Maness, Mayhem, taking on Mateus Mendonca. This is one of the last fights that I taped before we got on the air here, my man. And you had told me, last week you told Twitter that the mush of the week, and I know you've got some thoughts on this, was potentially Mendonca here. And, when I rewatched his fight, I got to say I was pretty impressed. That Javid Basharat fight, I think it showed some flaws. I think it showed some signs of being a young fighter with some inexperience, but he's very aggressive. Even when he was tired, he continued to pursue attacks that were getting the respect of Javid. And him and his brother are very good on the mat. They train with elite world-class guys. So if you're getting respect from them, if you're getting, them to back out of situations and positions, I'm taking that serious. And I do think that he's got good guillotines. I think he's got the right idea. He just hasn't been able to execute because he's got other guys that know the defense, that know what to do, that put themselves in the right next position. But he's making them work. When I look at this one, man, I'm just saying to myself, Nate Maness gives up takedowns too easy. I love Nate Maness. I hope that he could change that. He's fun on the feet. I think it could be competitive on the feet because Mendonca keeps his hands here, right? He keeps them very low. But I just think he's probably a touch faster to the punch as well. I don't know. He landed a couple leg kicks, took him right off his feet. Literally we're taking Basharat off his feet. So I do think Nate Maness cutting down to 125, Mendonca cutting down to 125. I got a lot of questions about both guys. I want to see them. I know that the weigh-ins are probably happening simultaneous to this. I'm going to go take a look at how these guys look if they both make weight. But considering this fight, I just think Mendonca probably has more paths to victory. I think Nate can win this by knockout. We've seen he's resilient. He's tough. He'll keep throwing. But his decision optics are just not great, So for me, I'm leaning towards the Mendonca side here. What do you think?
Yeah, it's crazy to me how people are putting a lot of stock in Nate dropping to 125 when he's done it before. And yeah, he might have looked like a skeleton and looked a bit shit, but Mendonca's never done it once in his career. So that will be more alarming to me. I think violence is the way to go in this one. The under 2.5 was something like -130, -125, which is a great number in my opinion. I do think someone's going to die. So I think the under's the way to go. I did take Maness early just because I thought the line was wild against somebody in Mendonca whose regional tape's poor. These are 0-2 guys, 2-1 guys. The guy he beat on Dana White Contender Series was a bum, so it really doesn't tell us much.
He did get hit cleanly in that fight a couple times too, Rich, to your point, by Ajit. He was getting hit cleanly and then landed one big punch and Ajit was done.
Exactly, man. And the Basharat fight, it's hard to gauge for me because you can say, well, he did 3 rounds in his debut against him, which is great. But Basharat, he isn't a finisher, man. You can see that from his record. I've been many times on him trying to bet the submission, the late sub for Basharat, and he just plays with his food, man. I think Mendonca was there to be finished, but he just didn't push the pace on him. I think Mendonca was gassed come round 2 and was there for the taking. So yeah, in this one, it is purely a number bet on the Maness side, and I also like the unders, man. Fight doesn't go the distance. That's a smash spot for me on this card. One of my biggest bets, to be honest.
Yeah, I also like that. You look at Nate Maness, he was almost finished in the first round against Gravely, got the finish in round 2. He was, I think, briefly hurt in round 1 against Sanders, got the finish in round 2, if my memory serves. But in any case, Nate Maness, tough guy, but he gets hurt. It's not like he hasn't been hurt. When you look at Umar just controlled him from on top, and it was mostly from the guard. But every round, towards the end of the round, it looked like he could have finished Nate. It was just 5-minute rounds didn't work for Umar that night. He would pass to the mount and then have 40 seconds left in the round to work. So I look at this and I just say, Nate is a guy that can be put in dangerous positions on the mat. He can get hurt on the feet. And then he could do the swinging and banging himself. He has a decent enough guillotine himself. So let's see what happens. But you look back at the fight, I think it was Lapalus, right? That knocked him out with that side kick to the body. I mean, it didn't look like that much. That was the thing that I was like, oh God. Mendonca by spinning hook kick to the body now is what I'm worried about. Because again, Nate is cutting down to 125 pounds. So I'm worried that durability is not going to be there. We didn't really see Umar beat his ass. We just saw Umar thoroughly rout him on the mat. So I do worry about what happens when he gets in some prolonged exchanges here, but definitely exciting fight. And I do think somebody is getting finished in that one. But next up,
I think, sorry, I was just going to say, I think Nate's got good hands, man. They're quite fast. and he is quite educated in the boxing. But it's his defense I don't like. The way he backs up. He's definitely there to be countered and slept, man. And I think, you know, if Mendonca was going to win, it will be on the feet. Yeah, he's going to push some takedowns. But yeah, I think a KO for Mendonca is live, man. But the numbers shit.
Yeah, I tend to agree.